All right, pregame thoughts, Padres and the Dodgers. Michael King gets the start for the Padres. Yoshinobu Yamamoto gets the start for the Dodgers. Should be a fun one. Should be a fun weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Michael King, he is my underdog fantasy pick for Padres fans today. Lower half first inning runs allowed. That is my suggestion there. I already went with Max Fried as well on lower half first inning runs allowed. And I don't believe he allowed any runs there in that first inning. So, yay for me. And so my picks already locked in for tonight. Quick before getting to Padres lineup and more into the pitching matchup, Adrian Morejon was recalled from AAA El Paso. Pedro Avila designated for assignment. So for fans that don't know what that means, he is moved off of the Padres 40-man roster. I'm reading this from MLB.com. Within 7 days of this, so within 7 days of today, Pedro Avila can either be traded or placed on outright or unconditional release waivers if the player is claimed off waivers by another club. Could be the case, but I think it was more likely in spring training. He is immediately added to that team's 40-man roster, at which point he can be optioned to the minor leagues. If he has minor league options remaining, he does not. Or he can be assigned to that new team's 26-man roster. Obviously, he'd be on the big league roster in that case. If he clears the outright waivers, he may be assigned outright to the minor leagues, but he can also reject that if he has more than 5 years of major league service time, or 3 years of major league service time, who had been previously outrighted may reject it as well. So we'll see what's going to happen with Pedro Avila's future. Is he going to remain a Padre? I think a team that may need pitching, you couldn't use an extra arm in the bullpen somewhere, or maybe not in the rotation, but Pedro Avila, he has shown that he can pitch at the big league level. Like, he's had moments. So it's weird. I wouldn't be surprised if either thing happens. I wouldn't be surprised if he clears because he hasn't gotten off to the best start. But I also wouldn't be surprised if another team picks him up because they saw what he was able to do previously with the Padres at the big league level last year. And there is talent there. He can provide you innings. He's already built up to be able to do that out of the bullpen. His last, 3 out of his 4 outings to start off the year, he allowed 2 or more runs. I think he allowed 4 runs in his last outing. So with the Padres, they're just like, hey, we tried it with Pedro Avila. Let's go with Adrian Morejon, a guy that we know of, talented, a guy that they're obviously believing can be a better reliever right now out of the bullpen. Now, what I question is, okay, who is that long guy now? Because Adrian Morejon, if you go look at his game logs in the minor leagues, he hasn't been pitching 4 innings at a time or 3 innings at a time. His last outing was on the 10th. That was an inning. The longest that he's gone so far in the minor leagues was 2 innings this season. That was April 2nd. But the good news is he's pitching pretty frequently here. He's already thrown, he threw March 20th against the Dodgers. And then the 30th, so let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's thrown 7 times already this year. Opponents so far hitting 158 off of him. So the Padres are just deciding to go with the guy that's pitching better right now. And I think they're like, hey, we tried it with Pedro Avila. We're trying to win games here. And so we're going to add a lefty to this bullpen. And maybe they have a good feeling that Pedro Avila is going to be able to clear waivers and he'll be able to just be another depth arm in AAA, which I would not be opposed to at all. I'm totally fine with Avila being in the minor leagues. He just wasn't being effective enough at the big league level if you look at the numbers. So there was that move. To the starting pitching matchup, Yamamoto against King. Michael King, we know he has made adjustments, and batters have, I believe, a sub 200 average off of Michael King so far this year. With Yamamoto, he's not the same guy that he was when the Padres smacked off of him in Korea. His last couple of outings have been pretty positive for him. He's striking out more guys. So we'll see what difference we'll see from Yamamoto. Dave Roberts has admitted this as well. He's a location guy. So he wasn't hitting his spots well enough in that Padre outing, and the Padres mashed off of him, and that was great. That was the Musgrove Yamamoto game in Seoul, the second game. Glasnow pitched the first game against the Padres. Good news, the Padres, they will not have to face Tyler Glasnow in this series. Last two outings for Yamamoto after giving up 5 runs against the Padres in 1 inning. March 30th, opening day for pretty much all of Major League Baseball. Or no. He didn't pitch on opening day. Sorry. That was Glasnow. The 30th against St. Louis. That was a few games in, I believe. 5 innings, no earned runs, 2 hits, struck out 5. And then his last outing, he struck out 8 guys, 5 innings, no earned runs against the Cubs. Padres obviously have already played the Cubs this year. They've already played the Cardinals as well. So I wonder how Yamamoto is going to attack the Padres. Hopefully he doesn't have the success that he's had the last couple of outings. I don't know how the Padres are going to be approaching Yamamoto. Obviously, with Yamamoto that first time around, it was attack. I think they realized he's not on his game. Attack. You see a pitch that you like, go get it. Are they going to work more counts against Yamamoto this time around? I guess they have to see how he's going to pitch against them, especially that first inning. So I'm going to be looking out for that. And then Michael King against this Dodgers lineup. Betts, Ohtani, Freeman, Smith, Muncy, Hernandez, Outman, Taylor, and Lux. Obviously, a lot of talent there. The Dodgers enter tonight 10-5, one of the best teams in baseball, along with probably like the Yankees. Those are probably the top 2 right now based on record. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Michael King, I think he can hang in there with this Dodgers lineup. He's just going to have to get some run support. I don't think he's going to shut out this Dodgers lineup. It's hard to shut out this Dodgers lineup regardless of how talented you are. Just looking at past games for the Dodgers, I mean, they're scoring runs. So the Padres, they're going to have to, they can't have they probably can't afford to have a no-run game with Michael King on the mound, and then they score late in the ball game. They're probably going to have to get something early here, and hopefully King will be able to go, 5, 6 innings, and then the bullpen coming off of at least a day of rest for all of them, come in, and then they can play matchups after that, and maybe they can squeak out a 1-run victory in this game. Padres lineup: Bogarts, Tatis, Cronenworth, Machado, Profar, Kim, Campusano, Merrill, and Wade. Paulie obviously was sent down, so when a righty's on the mound, Wade's going to be in there. When a lefty's on the mound, probably Eggy Rosario is going to be in there at third base. And Manny is obviously continuing to DH. He's been doing better, but his OPS is still at 698. I wonder, obviously, Cronenworth had a big game, that second game of Seoul Series against Yamamoto and the Dodgers. How is he going to fare today? I'm interested in that. Tatis, obviously, whenever he goes to Dodger Stadium, that's super fun to watch. And maybe Manny's going to really click it in, if that makes sense, with this Dodger crowd, playing the villain role at Dodger Stadium. And Bogart, 619 OPS, is he going to be able to provide that immediate spark, like attack right off of Yamamoto, right out of the get-go? We'll see. This is Merrill, his first action in the United States, Padres-Dodgers regular season, that rivalry at Dodger Stadium. So, Dodger fans, they're going to keep saying, not a rivalry, whatever. Well, we know it is, because they wouldn't be constantly in Padre fan channels replies and on social media if they didn't think it was, right? They would just laugh it off, but they don't. All right. That's it. Pre-game thoughts: Padres, Dodgers. Pedro Avila DFA'd. Adrian Morejon recalled from AAA El Paso. This, I believe, is his last year of option years left. So it feels like this is the year for Morejon. I feel like we're saying that almost every year, but this is the year for Morejon to lock it in here.